my fellow equestrians and horse lovers, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the new fly spray from Spalding Laboratories. I believe it's called Bye Bye Insects, real catchy name, but it is all natural. There's no pyrethroids, no DEET. It's all principally essential oils. So it's all natural. You can spray it on yourself. You're not going to spray your horse with chemicals, all that. So I initially ordered this fly spray because you could get 3 bottles for $45 approximately. And what they told you is you could dilute, so this is the bottles. You got 3 of these large bottles, and they're each a quart. But they told you that you could use, we expect most customers will find a 50% dilution to be sufficient, but it may be used to full strength if needed. So I got it first. I mixed it half and half with fly spray and water, and I found that it just didn't really do the job. We would typically use Endure. It's about $18 a bottle where I'm from, and that's the only spray we could find that would work on Monarch because she is just a bug magnet. They won't leave her alone. They're always on her. She's very dramatic about it. I mean, so am I. So it's understandable. So I got this stuff because all in all, it would have been about $7.50 a bottle if I could have used it diluted. But unfortunately, it didn't work diluted. So I tried it full strength. And it works. In my case, it worked for maybe about 20 minutes to a half hour, but then the bugs would just be back. And I can't say I can blame the product because where I live, we are having a terrible fly season. It's just been really wet. We had a really wet spring, and the bugs are just vicious this year. So I don't think it's extremely fair. I do find, however, that it seems to work like any other cheap fly spray when I use it on other horses. But this fly spray contains geraniol, sodium lauryl sulfate, peppermint oil, rosemary oil, citronella oil, lemongrass oil, eugenol, and other ingredients, which are, water, isopropyl alcohol, citric acid, they're technically chemicals, but not poisonous chemicals. Let me tell you that I was reading the pamphlet before I ordered it, and some people said it would smell obviously different than your chemical fly spray. Everyone else that I've talked to seems to think it smells nice. One person said it smelled like liniment. One person said it smelled like licorice. I personally I got used to it over time, but I just really didn't. It just really didn't smell that great to me. But that's, again, just a personal preference. So, again, I got these 3 bottles because I went to buy, they have an actual bag of the fly spray. It's a 3-quart bag, but they had been out of it. So they just sent me 3 bottles instead, and each bottle came with a sprayer. They all came in individual boxes, so obviously it's easy enough. If you're using it full strength, diluting it, I would say you'd probably want to you'd want to put it in a different bottle so it's a little easier. And then you have your cute little bottle of fly spray. The other thing that they did warn you about, but I didn't take too seriously because I never do, is that it's not recommended for use on gray or white horses or even horses with white markings because it will stain your horses yellow. I was like, oh, it can't be that bad. So I was at home with Stormy, the gremlin. We used it on her, and she had like highlighter yellow streaks all across her body. And luckily we weren't going to shows this year because it was a look. But to be fair, they did tell you about that, so it wasn't like a big shock. I just didn't follow directions. So and also, when it comes to the yellow marks, I noticed that Monarch stockings became very like pea yellow. They also warned you that these stains would be very difficult to remove. So I spent about 20 minutes with some purple shampoo scrubbing her socks. I think by the time I got to the 3rd sock, it was just a little exhausting. But her back 2 legs, I did manage to get the stains out with a lot of purple shampoo and a lot of scrubbing. So that was good. I was worried she was going to be yellow forever. But again, it's not the company's fault. They did tell you that that would happen. So again, it's not to say that it's a bad fly spray. I think it works as well as any other cheap fly spray. But I think it works all right. I wouldn't say it's like amazingly works great, any better than another fly spray. I went back, I still have a full bottle of this stuff. The biggest reason I decided to stop using it, I gave one bottle to my mom to use back at home, and I used up one bottle. But the reason I decided to stop using it is it just didn't work spectacularly, and it kept, obviously it stains her stockings, and a lot of her leg is white, and that's where she gets the most flies, so it just kind of was like, kind of don't want my horse to have yellow socks, you know, the yellow stockings. So I decided to stop using it then. I've been using it at work on non-white horses. I've been trying to use it up at work for the lesson horses because most of them, because the majority, there's only one horse out there who's white, so I just don't use it on her. I guess this is a pretty confusing review. I'm kind of on the fence about whether or not I like this product, but I think it has good ingredients. Obviously, you should always check to make sure your horse doesn't have an allergic reaction before you use it on their full body. Okay, I will disagree with their label. It says it may cause slight yellowing on white or gray hair. I wouldn't really call it slight yellowing. I would call it, maybe on like Monarch socks where she got more of a gentle spray on her legs, it wasn't so bad, but on Stormy's body, it was like a streak of highlighter yellow, so definitely don't recommend for that. However, if you live in an area that maybe has milder insect seasons or your horse isn't nearly as bothered by flies as Monarch is, then I would probably say this would work fine, and it's a pretty good deal, about $7.50 per bottle if you dilute it for an all-natural fly spray. If you don't dilute it, it is $15 a bottle, so I wouldn't say really exceptional, at least for me, price point wise. Although for an all-natural fly spray, if you can use it at a dilution or not at dilution, it is pretty reasonable. If I would say whether it works or not, I'd say it works all right. It doesn't work exceptionally. Doesn't really work for Monarch. It seems to work fine on other horses, at least for a little while. I do know that in their pamphlet they claimed it worked really well. On their website, they do claim it works better than Bronco, SmartPak's Outsmart, Ultra Shield Green and Red, Tritech 14, and Spray and Wipe. At least up until, it says it's supposed to last at least 7 hours. I don't really know about that. In Wisconsin, where it's very wet this year, it just didn't really perform. Again, not really a fair test, but it says it repels bugs, so it should repel bugs. Yeah, and on their website they claim that they're getting close to creating the perfect fly spray, and they are working to fix the staining for next year, but I would say it's, to call this near perfect, I wouldn't really say that. I mean, again, I think Endure works. It works a lot better. Obviously, there's a lot more chemicals, but it does work much more effectively than this did. So, I guess I really should have planned this video better and wrote up my thoughts, but you know me. I guess I would encourage people to try it for their own horses. As simple, just because it didn't work on mine doesn't mean it wouldn't work on other people's horses. But me personally, I wouldn't use this again. It didn't really do much for me or Monarch. So those are my thoughts on Spalding Laboratories' new Bye Bye Insects fly spray. Don't love it, don't hate it. Not a really useful review, but I told you some of the issues that we had. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!